Board. Board games, board games, it's what we're talking about. Board games, board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this morning talking maybe about laminating. And over there on the wall is the game I see Cobra Paw. And over here is the person known as Ella. And Ella is from Australia. Ella is in a place not near. Board games, board games. That's what we're talking about. Board games, board games. We're not gonna shout. Hey,
Yes. Woohoo! Where's the
good
roof?
morning. It's lovely to have you, Ella, and it is also lovely to have you, Emma. Good day
Hi,
to you.
Emma.
You are also a lovely human, as is Xate, as is Alan Oughton. It is lovely to have you all with us. And yeah, this is out of respect to all the Australasians and maybe Indonesians
Yeah,
or
everybody
Japanese
halfway
people,
down the globe. Yes.
everyone in that kind of the longy bit, the longitude,
Yes. Uh,
or is it latitude?
latitude is like longitude. Oh, don't
Okay,
ask me.
so
Oh no.
so you're in the same latitude approximately as Japan.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So basically, out of respect to everyone in your latitude and approximately that latitude, it is time for the Bezzy breakfast board game blether. I mean, Bezzy bedtime. I'm so sorry I built that up. It's the Bezzy
That's
bedtime
okay.
board game blether.
That's
And
okay. You're not used to it.
Ella, and based in Melbourne, you do all sorts of things, and I'm really excited to have you on because we've met each other at I think it's only been at Essen. Although we might
Yes.
have pop.
It was at a dinner. I remember at one of the pubs. I think it was Daniel's.
I mean, I
You
definitely
ran
saw
from.
you at dinner,
Yeah.
although we never had a proper chat. But also, I saw you one morning. I kind of ran past, and then I said hello, and then we
Hello.
gave each other a high five. Do you remember in those days when we didn't think so much about
I
high?
know. The first time we went, you ran towards me and I hugged you. So those were the good
Oh,
times. Yeah.
oh, man,
I
yeah.
know. I miss everybody. I miss you, everybody. Everybody. Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
Essen. Essen is my favorite.
Yeah,
Uh,
ma, I know. I kind of miss all that as well.
yeah.
But
I shouldn't say favorite. That's bad.
let's move on and let's talk about something that is still brilliant. Let's talk
Yes.
about the brilliant thing. Brilliant thing.
Brilliant thing.
Here's a little thing which is brilliant.
Tring, 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 tring. Is it me? Is it you?
And morning, Andrew. We're just getting stuck into a brilliant thing with Ella.
Well, in relation to that, I've always thought that airplanes are amazing. Just the idea. Well, a few things. There are a few things why it's amazing. Just the idea that it can be on the ground and then in the air. And if you go to Europe, it'll be in the air for 12 to 24 hours. Isn't that I know how it works, like mathematically, scientifically, but the idea that it's working, it still feels like magic to me. But also that because of airplanes, just the idea that I could be like hanging my clothes in Melbourne and then the next day I'm like biking in Denmark and people are speaking a different language from mine is just blows my mind still. Like it will never be old for me, the idea that you can get on an airplane and be in another place in another, with other people in another life. This is amazing. Oh, Bez, I can't hear you.
Whoops, I muted myself just because of
Yes.
the bottle and then Odin. You know what? This heat is just getting to my mind.
Oh, I
And so
understand.
and I just wanted to say hello, Odin, and I did actually gets a secret from Odin
Ooh, what is that?
indirectly. And
Eee.
yeah, I'll be passing that on soon. A secret thing, which, but not. Am I allowed to talk about it? I'm not sure if I am. I mean, I should. Yeah.
What will happen
And
if you talk about it and you shouldn't?
hello,
The-
Hiron. And yeah, it's lovely to see you all. And yeah, airplanes, it's something that's okay, it's the closest that we've got to teleportation in this day and age, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, we sit down, we're transported, it's the aerofoil, it's like the air pressure, it's somehow
Yeah,
tight,
lifts
it
you up
pushes
in
you
the
up,
air.
it's crazy.
It's crazy. And the fact that you're not crushed by the pressure also, or like you don't fly out, or you're alive and you get to another place, it's amazing. Yeah.
So now, let's talk about and hello,
Ooh.
peasant RFTG. Never, it's lovely to meet you. And let's talk about games, 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 games. What have we been
Mm.
playing? What are their names? Games, because you know we're not just an aeroplane show. So
Yes. I
I
wish.
played 2 games yesterday. The
Yes.
first game that I played was 5 Mil, which is a game for the L deck, wherein you're trying to make a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 letter word.
Hmm.
It's the third time we've played it. The first 2 times it went fairly well. The third time maybe because no one was getting any vowels. It was a really unfortunate and really bad shuffle. So it took us like the fastest game. The second game that we played was 15 cards, which is as fast as it can possibly
Yeah.
go. But then
Yeah.
this one, we were struggling after like 23, 24, okay, 25. We finally managed to get it done. And
Yeah.
it's still a fairly quick game. It's still only like 12 minutes, but it just felt, oh, come on, if only I get an N or a T or a W, come on, come on. And
Yeah.
so we probably need to have some tweaks.
Mm.
We also played
So
No
you were playing
Rules.
with somebody
Oh, yeah.
like in person?
Oh no, this was at 8 p.m. So every Tuesday and every
Oh,
Thursday, 8 p.m., I play on this stream. So it's like
right,
8
right, right.
p.m. and Sakes was there. And Heather Newton, if you know Heather Newton from Protospiel Online. And who else? And my friend Andrew Dennison. So we kind of meet. And then it's been a thing that I've been doing since March. Every Tuesday and
Cool.
Thursday. We started off with Sundays as well. And then it
Mm.
went down to twice a week. And now I'm thinking, okay, maybe it goes down to 1.5 times a week
Mm.
because, yeah, people are starting to do their own thing. People are starting, yeah, I'm starting to see Layla, who, okay, I'm not seeing everybody, but when we can, we maybe have 1 or 2 people that we can see a bit more. And
Cool.
yeah, it's a really nice thing. And Tuesdays, we always test new games. Thursdays, we play games that we know we like and we know they work well over that format. So
Yes.
things like Say Anything, How Much
Mm.
Money, and
How much
things where
money?
the audience can also join in, which is really nice.
Yeah. Cool. I
But
don't know that those other games. I should check it out.
How Much Money, it's not a well-known one. It's by
Yeah.
Chris Bockey. It's still a prototype, but it's freely available
Ah.
online, like as a print and play. It's basically just how much money would it take you to paint yourself blue and
Okay.
leave it all on for 2 days.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so then it's like, okay, people ask you questions, and then you say, okay, actually, I don't mind being painted blue. It would be an experience as long as we agree that it doesn't come off on the chairs and stuff. Although
Yeah.
maybe right now I'd be like, wow, I'm painted blue and I'm already hot. That's going to make life even worse. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
it
Be
costs a bit
sweating
more.
blue. Yeah. You have streaks. Yeah.
And the other game that I played yesterday was No Evil, which is a game wherein one person is actually muted, and one person, they turn their volume down, one person, they turn their screen off, and you're trying to make words together, and it's insanely difficult. It was a bit frustrating, but it was a really nice, exciting concept, and sometimes those are the most fun things to playtest, if you know what I mean. And so we ended up spending about 15 minutes playing it, like playing 2 rounds, and then we talked about it for a whole hour or so.
Skill. Must have been a striking game for you to be talking about for an hour.
For sure.
Mm.
I'm not going to repeat that whole conversation. If you want to check it out, you can. But Ella,
Okay.
we are here to talk about you. What have you been playing?
Well, I play a lot of games, but mostly like new ones all the time. But I've been playing a regular game of King's Dilemma with my game group. So we do it through Zoom, and I have the game is with me, so I have it on my table and I have a camera on it, and we play, Game of Thrones, but the board game. So I play like evil queen who makes wine. So I play it up. I vote evil. Like I want people killed all the time. I don't care about if they're gonna live or not, just as long as I make money. So stuff like that. It's fun. It's fun to play again.
Wow.
I think I enjoy it too much.
It's not even
Yeah, I know.
Machiavellian. It's just psychopathic.
I know exactly, but yeah, because I have to play according to, because you have to take cards that actually tell you what your goals are during the game, and so most of the cards that I take they have to be at extremes, like the resources. So I have to make extreme measures to push them there. So most of my decisions are no, let's kill them all, or no. So it's either, so I'm never in the middle. Yeah. So that's that. I think it'll be our 10th game. So I think it goes around 15, which is very cool. There's also not a lot of rules. So given that we're living in COVID, I'm really not into. I mean, it's my job to study the rules. So if I'm gonna have fun, I don't want to read a lot of rules. So I enjoy that it's just read a card, decide, read a card, decide. So that's it, King's Dilemma. And then I've been playing a lot of, if you can see, how do I point? Fort a lot, because
Oh yes, I think I saw your video about this. How the similarities to
with Race for the Galaxy.
yeah,
I'm
it's
one of my favorites now, Fort. And that's they didn't pay me to say that. Yeah, but I really enjoy it just because of the theme. It's very like fun and light, and then the idea of stealing people through toys and pizza. I just like it. It's easy to play because we already know the rules, so my husband and family can just get into it. So I like that, because at the end of the day, again, I don't want to read any rules. I just want to like play. So we also play a lot of party games. That's why. So we play Taco Cat, Go Cheese Pizza, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Does sound awesome. And
Yeah.
Tony, it's lovely to see good friend Tony Boydell here, who's
Yes.
designer of such renowned games as Scandaroon.
Yes, I was gonna say Snowdonia, but that's a better game. Yes, I agree. The Mr. Snowdonia. Yeah.
And we've got shout outs for Bees from Van Ryder Games. That's a
That's a fun game. Have you played that?
It was by someone else, and then I think Van Ryder localized it for the US.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
I think I assume you mean Pocket Pharma from Alley Cats Games, worked a wee bit on that. Quite a going
waving.
On.
Every time something scrolls over, I'm like, wave.
Odin. Oh yeah, playing with the family, Animal Upon Animal Unicorn and Animal Upon Animal Dinosaurs.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the new Habao, right? Yeah, they have dinosaurs and unicorns now. Can you mix and match them? Dino unicorns? Can you do that?
I mean, I think that's all the Animal Upon Animal stuff. You can just mix them however you want.
Yeah.
Pieces. I mean, you put them on.
Yeah.
Why not?
You're stacking them. I want dino unicorns then. Yeah.
Yeah, and more shouts outs for Race for the Galaxy, as well as Spirits Island and Through the Ages, solid games. And
that was my number one game of all time for a long time, Through the Ages. That was one of my first ever big games.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of shout outs with that with Alan Paul yesterday. Tony's another parts of Surprise Star Games, best known for on the cards. Honestly, on the cards.
Yes.
People give. I'm not okay. Look, 504 was an incredible game design, but let's give credit to Sebastian Bleasdale. who came up
Mm.
with On the Cards, which is really the first implementation of that. Let's modularize games as far as they can go.
Cool.
And got more shouts outs for, oh, I'm sorry, Javier.
Oh,
And yeah,
we're
oh, and
bless you, Bez.
yes, and Tony's actually excited by the undercards. Yes, Sebastian
Yes, yes.
Dale is brilliant. Um, let's just. Do you like Sebastian Bleasdale? Also known for, I believe, Keyflower.
Keyflower. Oh,
Yes,
I
he
have
worked
played
with Richard
Keyflower.
Hayes on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
But let's also, I mean, there's, even though life is not the best
Yeah.
situation, there have been some good things that we have enjoyed. And so let's
Yes.
focus on things, whether it's in the past day or even this morning or whatever, or in the past week. Let's talk about recent highlights, living life and enjoying the sights, recent highlights.
Recent
So,
had.
recent
Uh oh.
highlights. Oh, I did get a tiny bit of drawing done yesterday. Some
Oh,
letters.
that's cute.
I
What are you doing? You're playing tic tac toe.
um no, this is for categorical. So this is
Ah,
for a
okay.
new L deck. I'm actually looking at it today later. That cue's not bad.
Yeah,
Um,
no, that's great.
L and that's the C, and so that's stuff that's going on top of things. I have been enjoying some more birthday leftovers. So I had my birthday celebration on Sunday, and
Oh,
we had a
happy birthday!
barbecue. Thank you. And
Wow, a barbecue like outside with people.
yeah,
Like
we
very.
had three people who don't actually live here.
Oh,
Unfortunately, one person who does live here was taken ill, and fingers crossed, it'll be okay. We've done a bit of shopping, like just buying we sweets and juice for them. And they
mm,
were quite insistent on bananas, but anyway,
love
let's talk
bananas.
about the good things. Also, I want to talk about a film that I watched
Yes.
yesterday. I
What is
watched
it?
The Truman Show. I know it's quite
Is it
old.
great?
I've,
Did you love it?
I love this so much. It's the second
Mm,
time I've seen it. I saw it maybe like 10 years ago. But
mm,
there's so many bits that it's like, oh my God, that's so sad. And like when Truman meets this person and then they want to be together, but the corporation wants to like take them away. That was so sad. And you could see
yeah.
what was coming up. So on that whole sequence when they're running down the beach, like tears were falling from my face. Um,
Oh,
it's a beautiful film, and I think it is a it's almost like if you look at it, really think about it, it's almost as dark as a lot of Black Mirror stuff. I mean, it's not
yes.
treated with the same severity, but the whole notion, I mean, actually, if you don't know what the Truman Show is, I'm just not going to tell you what the premise is.
No,
Just
no, no.
don't
Yeah,
read
yeah.
anything about it. If you don't
Did
know
you
this
realize
film,
that you might be saying spoilers? Is that
just
why you
watch it.
stopped?
And if you don't
Yes.
know anything about it, just watch it. It's such a good film. And
Yes.
yeah, the lightness of the presentation makes it more dark, in my opinion. And
Yes.
yeah, someone
Uh,
says we
he
should
actually
watch.
has a. That's his choices. A lot of his choices in movies and film border on that. Like the presentation is very light, but it's very dark. Like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which he's in, is also very seems light, but it's also like disturbing. Then he has
Mm,
a new show where he plays sort of a Mister Rogers character, but
oh,
his life is very tragic. Yeah, so it's a show on Amazon, I think. Yeah, so he's like a child. What do you call this? A host for a children's show. Yeah, but his life is very dark, so it goes into I can't I won't say also because I don't want to say spoilers, but that's pretty good also. Yeah.
and have you seen this film yesterday that Tony's talking about?
Oh, I didn't see what was that? And the new David Copperfield, but Dev Patel. I would
Yesterday.
watch Dev
Oh,
Patel
is that
any day,
yesterday?
all
No,
day.
oh, that's the one where someone just where they wake up in a world where, yeah, I watched the trailer for that. I would really like to see
Is
that. I
that
might.
the new oh gosh. It's oh, who wrote
Basically,
Eternal
someone
Sunshine of the Spotless?
basically wakes
Is
up in a world
it Andy
where
Kaufman?
Beatles don't exist.
What don't it? The Beatles don't exist. Like
I
the
think this
the
is the one that
band.
Tony's talking about, where
Ah,
so it's like, oh my god, I've got this amazing wealth of music in my head because I've been like transported from this alternate dimension or something,
yeah.
and then I've just watched the trailer for it,
Oh, I think
and
I know this. I think he went there and then he started to give them Beatles songs. Is that he
yeah, and so like
went to
obviously
the
if someone knows all the Beatles song, then
yeah.
I don't think that the Beatles song would be quite as relevant if everything else existed today,
Yeah.
because I think that okay, serious time. I mean, not super serious, but like I kind of feel like the Beatles were really big, not just because they were good, but also because everyone heard the same music. Do you know what I mean? Because we
Yes.
heard all the same stuff on the radio. There were limited radio sections.
Yeah.
We didn't have all this multitude of things that we could stream and everything that yeah, right now it feels like there's thousands of artists that we could hear at a moment's notice. And of
Yeah.
course, yes, people have been influenced by the Beatles, but if they came around today, Odin's saying they might have like 2 hits in the modern day, which I think they would be fairly successful. I just don't think they would be the renowned success that they were back in the day, is all I'm
I don't
saying.
know. They're very experimental. Like if you think about their music during that
Helter
time, yeah.
Skelter, you know that one?
Yeah, yeah. So I think in that sense, although you can't say because it's very different the way artists are now. So really, there's no album launch, which I kind of miss. Beyonce had like, remember there was a big thing when she came out with an album and it was all the songs and all the videos all together,
Mm.
like it was an album launch, and everybody went crazy. And I was like, that was us when we were younger. That's how music came out. I mean, everybody was like, this is so new, but no, that's how you came out. It was like an event. I remember when Guns N' Roses came out with Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Do you remember you would have to fold the CD cover so you could find all the pictures in it, and then you would talk about it for hours and hours with friends. They would be like, and then you had to rewind it, talk about, because, and then also the lyrics also sink in because you'd have to listen to it over, like you can't Google and find the lyrics. You actually have to literally listen to it and then write it
Mm.
down, and then so it was I guess a very different experience of music.
I mean,
Now
I
you
was
can
one of
switch it
the
off.
people who bought, Moby's album Play. Like, I bought that, maybe not at full price, but I definitely bought it before it hit all the bargain shops.
Yeah.
Like when it was down in price to maybe £7 or something, which was still quite a bit for those days.
Mm,
And when you get an album like that, it's still a quality album. You know what I'm talking about, where and it's got a range from mellow down, not
yeah.
downbeat, but down tempo stuff to like
Mm,
up tempo, energizing stuff. And then in the liner notes, when you take out the thing, Dave Moby's
yeah.
written like several essays about the way that the
Absolutely.
modern day is.
Yeah.
And having something like the real Tuesday Vault, where the CD, the case is made out of cardboard rather than plastic. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
tiny bit of cardboard plastic just to put the CD in, but it's a beautiful thing to
Yes.
touch. And
Mm,
yeah, there's something wonderful about that. And so I do love streaming services. And thanks
me
to
too.
a housemate of mine, I have access to Spotify. But
Yeah.
it's, and yeah, the fact that I can listen to Screamadelica, or I can listen to
Yeah. Find
Rain.
anything you want immediately,
Yeah, I
right?
can instantly think, okay, I quite fancy Nina Simone.
Yeah.
And then instantly I
Yes.
find, oh wow, we've got some new remixes that were just released this year. Let's give it a listen. And they were actually pretty
Yeah.
good for the record. And but having sometimes it is really a work of art when you put
It
everything
is.
in. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And the
Javier, I'm
album
there
is
with
just a
you.
whole story. Yeah, rewind cassettes. Yes. And then it broke. Oh no.
So yeah, speaking, obviously we have been enjoying music and technology and films, but what's your recent highlight?
My recent highlights? Oh no, it might be a lot of work related. So we're in stage 4 lockdown. So my highlight would be going out on the porch because it's a sunny day. It's a small thing, but really when you're in, because I work from home and in front of the computer the whole time. And then that's my like main work because I work for a distribution company. And then I edit all day because of work. So just being out, it was a sunny day. It's been a sunny day. We've had sunny days all week, so that was a highlight for me. That's a big thing, like sitting on the porch, just looking at the trees. I also, well, in my what's this? The Beatles were super popular with young women. The same audience. They were pre-earnest to say to One Direction. Yeah, absolutely. They were pop culture, like pop culture icons. Yeah, people were screaming. Didn't John Lennon say he was more popular than Jesus, and then they got into trouble? Yes.
Hello, Rose. It
Hi.
is lovely to see Rose Atkinson,
I get
developer
distracted
at
by the
Inside
things.
the Box.
Hi.
And
Sorry, my
um,
eyes are.
we've got so lots of love for Rose.
Hello.
But yeah, enjoying sunny days in the parks, all sorts
Oh,
of weather, and you are living in a place where it's a boy
it's
band.
also
Imagine like
there's
all the,
there was a card game. I did a preview. It was great. It's by Banana Chan.
oh
So boy
yeah,
band. Battle of the boy bands. That was pretty good. It was all Korean pop bands. There's you have a momager, so it has a momager attack. So you have to fight against the momager. So it's great. It
have
was great. I thought
you
it was fun.
seen the? Oh my God, there's this other game where all the bands are basically gods. So you've got the
What's
Aztec
this?
gods who are all
In a band.
yeah, and sure, boy band battle
Battle
royale.
Royale. Do they kill each other?
Let's assume not.
Oh my! I just talking about battle royale. So I watched it. I'm like, this is violent. I forgot how violent it was. Because now I can't watch because I don't know because of the anxiety around COVID. I can't watch anything like violent or ugly. Like my husband is watching like gangster movies, documentaries about people being killed. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Can't we just watch? Like, that's why I've been watching a lot of like comedies or
You
light
know,
stuff.
I watched
Yeah,
one
so
documentary also yesterday. I did watch actually quite a bit of TV. Not so
hmm,
when I say TV, I mean screen time with the
yeah, on
phone.
the computer. Yeah.
As in, so I watched the Truman Show. I also watched this documentary. It's on Netflix about the Rubik's Cube.
Oh,
It's
cool.
about speed solving, and
Hmm.
basically there were two people. There's Max, and there's Felix. And Felix is kind of almost being a mentor, but they're getting a bit old. When I say
Yeah.
old, they're like I don't know, 25 or
10, 10,
something.
11. Okay.
Basically, once he starts having once you need to pay money for stuff, you can't spend all your days playing with the Rubik's cubes because if you think about it, this is the point where doing I can't do a Rubik's cube in a day, but these are people like if they do it in 6.7 seconds, are like, oh my god, why didn't I do it in 6.4? And so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like everything to them. And so that
yeah,
point
yeah,
3 seconds is going to be because they're just practicing for so many hours every single day, just solving
yeah,
Rubik's cubes. It's crazy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it didn't get into a lot of depth, but it was just a nice feel good documentary. And for me,
Mm.
there's something lovely when you've got a nice I like the nice feel good documentaries when it's like, oh,
Yeah,
let's talk about something cool about science, or
yeah, I
let's talk
know. I've been
about
watching a lot about pottery, like Japanese pottery. I go down a
ooh,
deep hole and then I watch people making it by hand, and it's amazing. And then I think maybe I can do this too. And then you'll see me doing pottery. But I wish. Like I miss doing things with my hands. I guess drawing or I don't know. There's something grounding about doing art in that way. Like doing
yeah.
art is very grounding. I
I
feel
mean, do you think
so.
that's parts of the appeal of a roll and write? That yeah, it's not like you're doing arts as such, but you
Yeah,
are kind of making marks. I mean, I was going to
yeah,
say just in card games in general, you're
yeah.
doing something with your hands, the joy of shuffling, the joy
Oh
of
yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. That's why I sleeve also, so I can do. Anyway,
Oh, I don't know. I don't like the sleeves.
I like sleeving because it makes it easier also to put
I
them
mean, when you
together.
sleeve, I do the kind of side shuffle where you jam them in from the side, because then you get like they have a little bit of separation. But no, I know you're not the number one or two people. I mean, you're not even the number one person in this chat channel, most renowned for rolling rights. I would say that was Odin. That Odin actually, published this book that I've got over here.
Dysoning, cool.
But it's sure.
The legacy
It's
aspect.
the legacy aspect, but also it's part of surely the creation aspect. Do you know what I mean? What you talk about doing something with your hands and saying, okay, I made this little track. This was me. And even if you are far away from someone, you share that, and seeing people come up with such amazing stuff on Patchwork Doodle.
Yes, or even with what's that? I forgot the game. Ugh, it's the new Uwe game. Where it's a roll and write.
You don't mean
I
Patchwork
forgot.
Doodle, do you?
No, another thing. Ugh, I forgot. But anyway, even with oh my god, my brain is not working. But yeah, they use a lot of crayons. Like instead of just black, you'll have like your castle will be colored and everything. Yeah.
So are you talking about the same thing as 3-minute board games?
No, that's not it. That's not it. This is bad. I'll remember later. This is what I call my 46-year-old brain.
Don't
now
worry
working.
about it.
Yes.
Now,
I'll message him.
Remind people, feel free to comment, ask questions from follow. Any questions that you say, I will try to get to at the earliest opportunity. And speaking of questions, it is time for the questionably quick questions.
Okay, let's do this. I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I'm really impressed by how quick you are. You're just like blowing my first question out of the water.
No. I couldn't even remember names of games.
Did you have breakfast?
Yes.
When did you wake up?
9:30.
Have you had dinner?
Yes, I had noodles.
Oh, what kind of noodles?
Hokkien noodles, so Chinese Hokkien noodles, and just stir fry with vegetables.
Tell us all the ingredients.
Carrot, spring onions, green peas, garlic, ginger, a lot of ginger, and noodle, Hokkien noodles. That's it. Stir fry with tofu. Forgot tofu.
Yes. Iced coffee or hot tea?
Hot tea.
Tony asks, was there sauce?
Yes, hoisin sauce.
Okay. What's the
in
best
my
thing?
Tea? Yes. Hoisin sauce in my tea. Yes.
What's the best thing to eat or drink whilst playing games?
Playing games? I just like alcohol with my games. I drink a lot of wine when I play my games with my friends.
Who's the last person you spoke to in person?
My husband. I told him, get out of here. I'm going to have a show.
Books or podcasts?
Books or podcasts? So far, podcasts.
And what's the last one you listened to?
Podcast? There's this series where they talk about the junk science behind convictions, because there are a lot of convictions that are overturned because of junk science. I learned that like bite marks, when you watch those crime shows and they like the bite marks proved blah blah blah. I just learned that that's junk science. That was based on somebody in a basement. And then because there was one case that had it as evidence, and they used it as precedent, it like swept through the whole justice system, and it's considered to be science, but it's not, because of our skin. Like our people have different types of skins, depending also if you're flexed or not, if you're being bitten. So it's all junk. Even like blood spatter is junk. So the only reliable evidence in court is basically DNA.
Yeah, I love Tony's comments. Tony's saying that the best thing to eat or drink whilst playing games is tripe, and satay
It's
chicken.
satay chicken is great. Are you the kind of person who doesn't eat while playing board games?
Who,
Because there are
me?
two types. Yeah, two types. Eat, no eat.
Um, so if people nor okay, let's say 6 months ago, 8 months ago, if I was
Mm,
having people over for board games, I would normally make a stew. So I would
mm,
actually put a lot of veg, peppers, maybe onions, some
yeah,
chopped tomatoes, all sorts of things. Make a nice stew, lots of flavor, lots of
yeah,
bits of chili, stuff going on,
yeah.
and we'd have a bit of a break. Um, I would be happy to have a bit of crisps on the side. I would be
Mm,
happy to have people join in because I do want to make it a social experience. And that's the thing.
yes.
But when we have the stew out, I will kind of generally do that in between games. So it will be
Right.
like more of a break. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like roses coming over, all sorts of things.
Yeah, cool.
Um,
Me,
oh,
I don't know. I like eating during games. I'm
that's not good.
drop a fully loaded hot dog on a game. I remember at Essen because Ian O'Toole has a copy of Glory to Rome, the black box, which is like very expensive and nobody has it. And somebody spilled beer on it. And I laughed and I looked at his face because he said, it doesn't matter what happens to my game because I don't care. It's a game. It can be replaced. And so I looked at his face when the beer went on it and he was fine. So
Yeah, we know you have black box stories, Tony. Show off.
to show off. Yeah, that's why you get beer on it. Brought it at a pub.
I
Beer.
I love this kind of way of approaching games because I'm sorry, Ian, if Ian's watching. There was Ian Smith in Glasgow Brass, back when it was out of print, back before the reprints had been announced. I spilt some water, whilst we were playing brass. Back when there was only
Mm.
one brass, and yeah, stuff started coming off. We tried to clear it, but it was a great flood damage. And yeah, I was kind of all ready to I was like, okay, I really need to pay for this. I wasn't in a great financial situation, but Ian, bless their hearts, like next week said, look, don't worry about it. I dried it out. I glued the bits back together.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
Things
fun.
happen. Just be more careful in future. And I think that you want people to be careful. And if there's definitely stuff that I would sleeve, like Codex, I would
Hmm.
sleeve that. And if I had a Magic the Gathering deck that had a lot of rare cards in it, for sure I would sleeve that.
Yeah, there
But
would be no water near that, I would think.
yeah, there's definitely some games that I will not play with certain people
Mhm.
because, or in certain kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
have people have claw hands. They hold the card like this. Like that. Like my heart breaks. I'm like, oh, why are you holding the cards like that? I don't even know why they would hold it so it bends like that. So I'm like, oh. I guess
oh,
I'm okay if they take like enough care, like they care about your property. Because I was a teacher, and there were a lot of kids who didn't take care of the games, and you have to teach them that this is not yours, so you have to take care of it.
hmm.
Colonia, London, and board.
And hello and good morning, Alex. These questions are really questionably quick. Now,
Yes. Sorry,
the
I talk
question
too much.
no, 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 it's all good. So, what's roll and write that you love?
No, my goodness. That I really love. I really like silver and gold so far. Yeah, I love that so much.
So,
By silver and gold.
yep,
By oh my god, my brain. Australian. Silver and gold. Oh my god, who's that? I'll remember later. Oh,
it's
my
not by
brain is
Matthew
so bad
Dunstan,
today.
is it?
No, no, it's not Matthew Dunstan. The other guy. Oh my god. But Phil Walker Harding. I got it. Yes. Phil Walker Harding. Yeah. So silver and gold is pretty good. One of my favorites.
Yes, published by NSV.
Yes. And I think it was by yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, we could just have Tony to give us all the answers.
I did. I
Um,
remembered before he typed.
Speaking of which, Tony, like I would love to have you on at some point. I wasn't sure if it was your speed, but I know that if I had Tony on, I would have to have a not NSFW kind of warning. Probably that would be the one show where it's like, yeah, if Tony wants to use any words, they can. But speaking of games, what was the last physical game that you played?
Physical game. Recently, it was Fort. Fort
Oh,
over there.
Fort. So you are really enjoying it, and
Oh, very much. I'm trying to like have
you
a new
play
life where I
once
play
you've
games
kind
over and
of
over.
done your review, once you've kind of talked about a game on video, how often is it that you continue playing a game?
If I'm done with it and I should be careful about what I say. Not that I don't like it, but if it's not something that I how do you say that? Like something in my wheelhouse, I won't play it again.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll pass it on. Yeah. Like I found
But there are many games, by the sounds of it, that you would keep and
yeah,
playing.
yeah, absolutely. I keep most. Yeah, and then I give away some of the games. Like I've been playing Catan actually because I don't know, I've enjoyed it. So they actually sent this this is not I'm not being paid. I'm just gonna say they sent me the newest one. So I really want to try that out. So I think Legends of the Conquerors. So
Ooh.
yeah, I just discovered I've played a Catan, but I haven't played the expansion, which is Knights, and everybody on my on my Instagram was like, "You should play that. Never play it without that expansion because that's the best expansion." So I did play that. It's just very hard with Catan because it's 3 players, and basically it's me, my husband, and my son, and he's really not into Catan, so I have to force him. But yeah, so that a lot of Catan in that. So blasphemy to a lot of people. Sorry. I know. I know. I don't care.
Catan haters there. You know, haters gonna hate. As you know,
Yes.
the great sage of our
gonna-
age said.
He does gotta hate. I don't know. A lot of people love Catan, and so a lot of my friends also go. I go over and they play Catan. Yeah, yeah. So I play Catan.
What is your favorite color to play? I mean, maybe not just in Catan, but in anything. If you were given the choice of all the colors, and in fact, following on from that, are you so in love with a color that you would buy your own pieces for that color just to add on a unique color to Catan or Carcassonne?
No, not really. I'm not the kind of, I'm not fussed if somebody takes my color. The problem is I always play with blue usually. So what happens is I push other people's pieces, which is the usual what you do. But yeah, blue mostly. If there's no blue, I go red. If there's no red, I go pink.
You go green.
I would never go green. I don't like green. I don't like green.
That you're making some people sad there.
Yeah, I know. Worse than Catan. Blue. I'm a blue person. Look, blue. Look at the color there. Blue. There. Blue. Everything is blue. Blue and red is my color.
Cards or cubes?
Cards.
Wooden meeple or plastic figurine?
Wooden meeple.
Art or rules?
Art. Rules. I'll get in trouble.
3 games you love.
3 games I love. Okay, Race for the Galaxy. I really love Castles of Burgundy, and I really love Horrified.
Okay. Another question from the audience. If there's a lightning storm, do you run outside to enjoy it and glory in it, or do you hide in the house?
I hide in the house and watch it through my window and enjoy its glory. So
do you ever go for a walk in the rain?
Oh yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
It's the lightning that would be the last turn off.
Yes, I don't want to be struck by lightning. Fun fact, I had a co-teacher who was struck by lightning 3 times. 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He was a maths teacher too. So it's like, if he was talking about probability, he can talk about himself.
What's the probability that they would get struck by lightning for a 4th time?
I have no idea.
Exactly the same as me getting struck for the first time, I guess.
Yes.
Unless, of course, maybe
I thought you wanted the number.
type of person who always runs outside in the lightning, I mean, maybe it's their behaviour. Maybe they're a bit mad, like Tony.
Maybe they
Um,
have a lightning rod, holding a lightning rod while they go out.
maybe they
Higher
run
purpose.
outside into lightning showers in an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
More less dark humour. What's his board game shop, maybe in Melbourne, that you love?
Uh-huh. Oh, board game shop in Melbourne that I love. Guff games. I love Guff games. So yeah.
GOTH.
GUF Guff.
Guff. Huh.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name.
I know. You should ask him. I think the reason was there was a funny story to it. I think now I forgot. It was funny. It was like because so that it was a website thing and also like alphabetical thing. That was the only available one. Oh, Guff is good. So that was it. I think so. There's no relationship to whatever to their company. It was just Guff.
Huh.
But do you remember Guff games for you, like Simpsons Guff games? No.
So apparently it's in Ballarat, Bendigo, Geelong, and Werribee.
Yes, it's an online shop too now. Yeah, so they were the owner is really great. So he organizes a lot of cons and helps out a lot of the local community. So yeah, one of my favorite FLGSs.
So what I would like to finish up with as we get rid of this banner is, in as much or as little detail as you would like, can you describe a typical day for you in the past month?
Okay, so I wake up at around 9 to 9:30. I have breakfast, and then I sit on my computer because I work at home and do social media. So I create media packs and stuff like that. I create art for like Instagram and stuff, the posts, because that's what I do. I also like write content for our website, for Instagram posts, etc. So a lot of that. So I basically I sell games for a living. 9 to 5, and then after that I sell games for a living. Well, not sell, but then I make content about games. So after that, within the week, most probably I'll have 1 to 2 videos that I've edited and I'll go out either on my channel or on Dice
So
Tower.
9 to 5, are you working for a distributor?
Yes, so 3 times a week. So I work for them part-time, 9 to 5, and then most of the other weeks I create content. And when I'm not creating content, I'm playing board games or watching movies with my husband. Basically, that's it. Yeah.
And that is the end of our quick question, or questionably quick questions, I should say.
Yes.
And I would like to have a bit, if I may, a bit of a quick COVID-related check-in. I'd just like to ask, okay, obviously, going back to, years ago, things were quite different. Not just because we've all grown up and we're all in different places in the world, but also because the world around us has changed. So I would like to ask, how has it been for you recently?
It's a mix. So it's like we're in stage. Okay, so it's been hard because I have family in the Philippines and it's really bad there. So I worry about them a lot because we also have a dictator who is not handling it well, and I think it was like 7,000 cases in a day, every day, and the health system is very overwhelmed. So I know a lot of people who have died, like our our uncle died like 2 weeks ago because this is very dark, but I don't want to share. But
No,
because because the health system is so overwhelmed, like he was having a stroke. And you don't know if strokes are COVID related because a lot of people that is the symptom, because I learned from research that it actually affects how thick your blood is. So a lot of strokes, heart attacks are because of it. So he was having a stroke, and because the health system is overwhelmed, he couldn't get into the hospital and he died. So even if it wasn't COVID related, it was in a way. So in Melbourne, we're pretty lucky. We're in stage 4 lockdown, so the government is reacting in a better way compared to my friends in the United States, where like it's a free for all over there. So in that sense, It is, but also like a lot of people, like you have existential dread. It's just like, and you feel guilty about your existential dread, because if you have existential dread, it means that you have the luxury of having existential dread. You're not worrying about food or having a roof over your head. So there's also guilt over that. That why am I the lucky one? So those are the things. And also like working normally in a pandemic is very weird, because it's like, why? What does it matter if I'm selling games if I'm like people are dying? So that's it also. So it's hard to be motivated in that way, especially I'm playing games. I'm like, oh, why am I gonna play games?
No, I
So
totally get that. There's a sense of, what does it matter? What's the point in
yeah,
doing anything?
yeah,
And certainly, but I think there is value in entertainment. There's value in
yeah,
distraction. I
yeah,
mean, we can't just define our value as something that keeps humans alive, like,
right,
roof over our heads or food.
right,
I mean, I understand that some people are struggling with these basics, and it does, as you
yeah,
say, come up from a very privileged position
mhm,
where I know that I will be able to pay the rent this year,
yeah,
and I know that I will be able to, even if I can't buy the types of foods that I would necessarily want the most, I can sometimes go off and even sometimes buy some luxuries. I get to buy
yeah.
bubble tea like about once a week. And
Once a week, I have it every day. It's like my stress
I mean,
reliever.
yeah, if I we couldn't afford that, but it's like
Yeah,
the point is that having these distractions, doing content for people, doing videos, making games, doing what we do, like it has some value. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. No, I understand. I'm not saying, yeah, I'm not saying it's just hard to think of it when that is top of mind, I guess. Yeah, yeah. It's just a struggle. Like it's not a struggle. It's just balancing. Like doing that and thinking about more important things, I guess. I don't
And
know.
for sure,
Yeah, hard to see the balance. Not be what I'm saying is like finding the joy in things, as well as taking life seriously in that sense. Yeah, you don't want to drown in sadness. What is what I mean? Yeah. So
and
yeah, I agree. I agree. We're here to create fun and also community. Actually, like that's why we create community more than anything. Like even on Instagram, because people ask why do you do Instagram? I just think the community factor of it is what is attractive to me. Yeah.
there's something lovely about. I think community is such a strong word, and
Mm,
Sate mentioned it to me that yes, when I kind of do something like this and everybody kind of brings their own people to some extent, but now maybe Alan, Sate, Andrew, Alex, there's all
mm,
these people who are starting to come here and Odin, and it's like lovely to have people who are watching and not just chatting to me while I'm doing
right.
these things, but sometimes even chatting to each other. And like Sate and Alex working on a game together for,
Mm,
I mean, obviously I'm biased because Sate and Alex helped each other with some LDEC design contests submissions. So that helps, sorry, LDEC. But
yes.
it's like, they are getting to know each other now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you did totally know Alex before he came here, but still, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have started working on the game together, is my point. And then people are doing little things and people playing games on Board Game Arena and having little side chats. And when there's like a wee side chat, I'm like, oh, that's so lovely to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I
Who's Rose?
the developer for Inside
Oh
the
yes. Or
Box
yes, yes, yes.
who's watching on YouTube.
Yes, yes. Hi.
And but I think that that's the thing. Like right now, without us being able to see all the people who are next to us. Let's say if I were told that I could not contract, okay, I'm going to leave this up for another couple of minutes. If I were told today that I could not contract any diseases and I could not carry any diseases to anyone else, I would definitely, just normally I would be like, okay, let's say if that weren't an issue, basically is what I'm saying, then sure, I would be going out, dancing there. I would be doing so much, meeting so many people, giving people hugs, and like doing so many things that right now there is a lot of fear involved in.
Yeah.
But because that's not something that's actually possible, I am chatting to Tom and Xate and Andrew and people a lot more than I otherwise would. And to some degree, it's growing friendships. And I love your own Danny.
Yes.
Who did you hear Danny on that podcast? The podcast Breaking Into Board Games.
No, I haven't actually. I haven't listened yet.
Okay, so in that one, Danny says something which is so lovely, which is to say, hey, I don't know if they say this like all the time anyway, but one thing that they said was talk about like online friends and real friends. It kind of denigrates the online friends, do you know what I mean? And Danny's like, okay, you can talk about them as physical space friends, or you can talk about them as online friends, but to call your people that you've met real friends, it suggests that those other people are fake friends. And yes, for sure, there are some people that, I've met, and there's definitely some people that macroencephal, like that's come a few times to see Xate, and I consider them an acquaintance. I wouldn't consider them a real friend. We've not had so much contact, but someone like like Xate, I would say that we were friends before, but now we are even closer friends. And same as there's definitely other people. I don't want to start naming names because then it's like
you'll forget one.
But it's just really lovely kind of being like developing and forging these bonds. And so and Xate does mention that Germans, they have a friend is a very high barrier apparently. So they have one friend for acquaintance, one word for friend. Correct me if I'm wrong, Xate, but then there's also one word in between. So it's like, it's okay if you're
it's like purgatory.
So it's kind of okay, you're an acquaintance. Okay, now and know you. Okay, I kind of like you. Now you're this other thing. Okay, now you get to be a friend. Now we actually get to hang out all the time, and you get to go to Xate's house.
Cool.
And so, it's like acquaintance plus. But, that is that. Unless you had anything extra that you wanted to say about that topic.
No.
But and so thank you for. Apparently, even going to someone's house isn't friendship yet.
What? What do you need to do? What do you need to do?
And so, anyway, I'd like to touch upon a little bit of what you get up to in general. So you started off calling yourself the laminating queen.
Yes, because I never thought I would this would turn into something else. Like I always thought it was just going to be like for fun, my Instagram account. I didn't know it was going to be a profession. So my joke is because I laminated everything. So I'm like, oh, maybe my name is Laminate. And then it was like an insider joke with my friends. So I'm like the laminating queen. But then it became like a profession. So I had to change my name. I still laminate though. Like people think that I laminate the whole game.
It's just so memorable.
Yes. Yeah, but I think because it's so limiting, like I think Ella loves board games is more encompassing. That was me. I'll tell you the story about that. So, um, that was new in my like in my board game craziness. So I traveled like I think I had a dinner or something. So I went out 6 o'clock. Then I came back at set or like I think I went at 2 hours like to the city and back in traffic just to get that one game.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And then I didn't even play it. So I didn't know why I got it. That's how crazy I was. Like I wanted it immediately. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't play it. So that's why.
So it's really like you had a lot of this fear of missing out, or kind
Oh,
of this.
absolutely. Absolutely. And then I went to Gen Con and that died. I like died. It was
I
just
mean,
the overwhelming like consumerism at Gen Con when I went. I'm like, am I part of this? And then so I didn't even do like any game halls after that or unboxing just because I don't want to be like propagating FOMO if you're missing out in people. I, I didn't see it as something that I should cultivate anymore, so I stopped doing it. But yeah, when I was new, it was like 0 to 300 and everything. Like I had to have it now, and now I rarely even order anything unless I research it very much. Oh, it's a great game. Tobago.
yeah,
Yeah, Cryptid. This one is better.
we were talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm biased.
Well, for me, I enjoy this better than. I guess there's nostalgia. There are a lot of games that I play out of nostalgia. Like through the ages, if I play that now, having played other things, I don't think I have an affinity for it as much. But because it was one of the first like heavy games I ever played, it always has like a place in my heart. But I'm more into like midweight Euros now, something just because I don't have time.
Oh,
That's
um,
the app. I play the app a lot.
I think we have a mutual friend there,
Oh
Peasant.
no, I just
Um, and going back to what friend means in Germany,
yes.
apparently it's something to be about ongoing relationships. So even who you're someone really close to for a short time might not be a friend.
Why are there categories? I'm like, it's very do they care a lot about categories in Germany? Is that why?
Germans are very organized.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of that. He's been he's been in my home. Yeah, he's an acquaintance.
And yeah,
Tobago is great. Yeah, hidden role.
so what how did you get into board games? I mean,
Me?
you talk earlier on about how you laminate things and I guess sleeve things because you just want things to stay good. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not technically laminated, right? This is just sleeved.
No, just sleeves. I sleeve a lot also. A lot of people ask me why I do that. I guess because I'm trying to think why. Because maybe because I grew up poor and I like to take care of my things. Like so I like sleeving and laminating. So everything. So a lot of my books are also like have plastic, not laminate, but like contact paper and stuff like that. So I take care of my stuff really well. Yeah. That's my reasoning for that. I'm worried about what the pictures, what pictures will show up here. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I
Start. I'm
feel like
tricky.
so. Where? Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here. Awesome. So I don't. Did you get a copy of my game, Kitty Cataclysm?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because I thought I gave a copy of Kitty Cataclysm and the deck to get to you through your other
Where?
work.
Oh, like VR?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't.
because I
I
saw
didn't get
them
it.
in London. Although
You
I
know
might have
why?
seen them this year, and there
Yeah.
was like a whole pandemic and everything.
Yeah, I'll ask them because they live in Adelaide, so it's like a whole place from here. So I and then a lot. I'll ask at the end. I'll tell him that he didn't give it to me. Don't worry, he'll be in trouble. I'll ask him.
But yeah, basically, I'm doing a second edition of both those things. But what I was going
Hmm.
to say was that Kitty Cataclysm. So if you look in the box, if I actually minimize this for a
Oh,
moment, so
yeah. Oh, there it is.
so well, let me just show. So this is the box lid, and the
Yes.
box. So this is the cards. So you can
Yes.
see it's the perfect fit.
Yes.
But what I want you to note is that I had to make a decision.
Because of the sleeves.
Was I going to use this box knowing that people wouldn't be able to sleeve it?
Yeah. I don't think you should. I don't think it should be a consideration for publishers if people are going to sleeve it or not. That's my honest opinion. Like, if I think your consideration should be how do you make it cheap enough for people to enjoy it. I think that's it. Like, because sleeving is a luxury. Like, it shouldn't be. You're not entitled to tell publishers that they should. That's my belief anyway. But because I want games to be in people's hands. Like, if you can make it as cheap as possible, so that people can play it and buy it, then go for it.
I mean, that's what I'd like to ideally do, kind of make all the games as accessible as possible.
Yeah, because if that was sleeve, that would be like that thick. Because people don't know, if you sleeve something that's that thin, it becomes that thick. It doesn't fit in the box. So, yeah.
And there is definitely a joy in having something that's
tiny.
It's this.
Yeah, like Oink Games. I love Oink Games. I love the fact that it's tiny. Yeah.
Skirts, well, it's kind of more of a
skirt,
shoulderless dress that's I wear. Okay. But check it out; it fits in that pocket.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like Oink Games, there's a joy in Oink Games. Oh my! We're going to go through. I'm worried about what pictures are there.
I did check with you, didn't I? That I can show all your pictures, right?
Yeah. But I don't remember what are there, so I don't know what will pop out. That's that's book.
A wide variety of stuff that you play, because when you talk about laminating, to my mind, that kind of just means roll and writes.
And basically. Yeah, some player boards I laminate. Like if they're very thin, I laminate them. So but otherwise, no. I just keep
Terraforming Mars. I mean, it's
exactly. Yeah, or what else? Like Twilight Imperium. The original ones were very thin, so I laminated those. The problem is you can't sell them anymore because people expect if you sell a secondhand game for them to be as new. That's how privileged we are. Like, I want my secondhand game to be in shrink. So.
It's. I mean, I'm looking at the edge of these cards, which have been played hundreds and hundreds of times, and I don't know if you can properly see. So
not bad.
It's not quite white. It's all I'm saying. Actually, I wonder. So yeah, if I compare it to this one, you can definitely tell which one I've played more.
I like
Let me hold the decks next to each other.
Yeah, the left one has been played more. Left one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one is Kitty Cataclysm, one is the L deck, and I mean, basically, especially honest. Yeah. I mean, I do like all my games. I'm not saying that I don't like Kitty Cataclysm. That would be terrible kind of marketing. And I think that even Xate, who normally doesn't like that kind of game, enjoys it. But it's definitely, a lot more versatility in this. And for me, with the L deck, like I wanted to have something eventually where, okay, you can have the proper deck, which is maybe 15 quid, but let's try and get a small half-size deck for like, I don't know, like 7 quid 50, 8 quid 50, which might not be as cheap as you might expect from Hasbro if they were printing, 100,000 copies for sure. But for someone who's realistically taking a year to sell through 1,000, it's still. I mean, for me, it's very important to try to have accessibility and.
Otarji, one of my favorite games, 2-player games. That is an expansion now. I think I'm gonna get it soon, so I'm excited about. Have you played Targi?
I still haven't. I've heard
Targi.
great things about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's worker placement game. Oh, those are my that's how I got into board gaming. So I was studying for studying teaching, and I went to a Christmas party, and they had board games over there. So they were playing Catan and Seven Wonders. So those were my co-teachers. This is like a local game, Skyward. So it was made by, yeah, the
Yeah,
company is
Jelly Bean
closed.
Games by Pizza C. Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
Is Pizza
Uh,
now based in the US?
oh, I'm not sure. This one is like Unfair. Yeah, that one is by
Yeah,
Good
that's
Games.
by
Yeah,
Kim. Well,
yeah.
published
Kim,
by Kim.
published
Is
by Kim. Yes. Yeah.
did you
Uh,
play Monstrosity?
no, I haven't
No,
yet.
Monstrous. Sorry, Monstrous.
Monsters. No. Yes. 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 This
I
one. What
love
is that
that.
one?
Like it's kind of
Yeah.
got a bit of dexterity,
Why do I
but
have
you
a
still
picture
kind
of
of
a
actually
box?
think about stuff.
Ah, it was the gallerist. Okay. So that's one of my first Vitala Serta games. So yeah.
And
It's nice. Somebody's like, it's nice.
oh,
Yeah, that was marriage equality. So we voted yes, yay. I was in school when that happened, and my co-teacher and I, like, we were teaching different, and we were our school is very liberal and progressive, so we were all watching it on the screen when it was like being announced. We just ran into each other's rooms and we cried. Yay.
oh.
It was a great day. Yeah, when I went to the cafe, everybody was like high-fiving each other. It was great.
So a few years ago, you were a teacher,
I was, yeah. It was like just last year. I was a math teacher. Now I'm in the industry. Still,
and
so
was that, if you don't mind getting into it,
no.
was it basically because of VR that you were able to make that move?
Yeah. I think I reached I reached the point where I felt like I wasn't going to be a good teacher anymore, just because I was just burned out. And those teachers, uh, like I didn't have patience anymore, and I didn't want my kids to suffer through that. Like there was with this one wake up call. I don't even remember what I was saying, and one of my kids said in year 10, then why don't you just stop teaching? And then I'm like, yeah, I should just stop teaching if I'm not enjoying it anymore. So I didn't want them to have that experience of me, like just hating my job. Not that I hated teaching, I just hated all the grind, just the admin, the grind of teaching. And so that's when I decided that, yeah, I should be like pursue that career with VR distribution. Yeah, they offered me the job. Yeah, that was, I think, late in the year, so it was very like I was leaving and then they offered me the job, so it was fate in a way. That
Awesome.
said, I was like, I was always asking him, is there a job there? So it wasn't really fate. It was me asking if there was a job there. And finally it did.
Like every
So,
single day, hey,
yeah,
are you sure
hey,
there's not a job yet?
hey, hey. Yeah. Yeah. So there. Now I'm in the industry. Hopefully I can stay.
I mean, how does it feel being in Australia? Do you feel a bit cut off from things? So I've heard some people say that, there's so much based in Europe with Essen and
Yeah.
Festival International Jeux and UK Games Expo,
Yeah.
and there's nothing even like that in.
No, the biggest that we have is PAX, and the tabletop is not as big. It is growing every year. So, and this year, before everything happened, there was in some interest. There were like a few publishers coming over, but that happened. But yeah, and in order for you to like um, network, like Stella does content also. We had to travel like to Essen, so it was a lot of money that we invested in order to be in the industry.
Sorry, who's
um,
Stella?
so Stella from Meeple University, so she's also
Oh
Asian. She
yes,
does,
yes, yes.
yes,
Yeah, of
Stella.
course. Sorry. Yeah.
No, no, that's fine. So Stella and Ella. So yeah, so we did travel a lot. So that is a barrier. Like I know a lot of designers here who like not complain, but because you have to have money basically to be in the industry in order to present your games, because you have to travel. So that is a
Hmm.
big barrier. Yeah, because there are only a few publishers. Well, there's Good Games. Basically, the biggest one is Good Games. Grail Games is they do a lot of games also, but then again, there are a few lucky people like Matthew Dunstan and Phil Walker Harding who get to publish internationally. But yeah, it's a
Although
struggle.
Matthew Dunstan's not really based there anymore.
No, he's in the UK now, right?
No,
Oh,
Matthew left the UK. I think Matthew's in Prague right now.
oh, is he? Okay, okay. He's teaching,
Hmm.
right? I remember he's a teacher.
Um, I'm not sure. I've had a couple of messages with
Hmm.
Matthew, but I've not really had a proper chat. I feel like it's been a bit remiss of me. I should have Matthew on at some point. It's kind of just gotten to the point where why have I not had
Oh
that
my
person
goodness,
on?
why are my eyebrows so dark there? But yeah, I'm like, ooh. But yeah, no, yeah, it is. It is hard. Like, I think that's what's good about, not that COVID is good, but I guess now there are other ways for people to present their work now because you do it online instead of going to a convention. Like we're on even levels because nobody can go to conventions, so there are different avenues now to present your games and things. Yeah. Oh my
Hmm.
god.
Yeah, I mean, UK Games Expo, well,
Hmm.
now it's called technically Virtually Expo, which is in a week and a bit.
Yeah.
And there's no benefit to me being figuratively down the road
Hmm.
compared to, I mean, there's no reason for you to go. I mean, probably a distributor, it's not the kind of place for a distributor to go, really. It's a consumer based show.
Yeah.
But
We did go before. I know that my boss and was going to go, so because there's still networking to be done. But yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it's a weird one because in the digital age, it feels like it's going to be more consumer focused than normal, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
Because whereas if it were 3 months ago, if there were a distributor, I'd be like, okay, great, I'll make a meeting, grab the cards, let's swap things. But certainly, if we're just going to chat online,
That's not
well,
a real glory to Rome. That's like a box that my friend made me because it's so hard to get. So they made it from scratch. So they made the box from scratch, all the cards from scratch, like from photos from BGG. So people are like, "You're flexing with your copy." No, that's not a real. Well, it
yeah, it
is the
does
real
say
game,
it's a
but it's not
PNP,
a.
just
Yeah, it's
highlighting.
like a PNP. It's a PNP. Yeah,
A very nice PNP.
yeah, very nice PNP. Camara
I mean,
Station.
do you ever get game reviews where it's like, oh, this game just makes me sad?
Um, have I had a game where? Yeah. What do you mean by sad? Like, oh, this is not good.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I've
Not like
had.
this game is damaging to society, because that's its own kettle of fish. I mean, where
Yes.
we get into,
Like,
misogynistic
yeah, I know.
representation,
Or
or
colonization and games. Yeah.
yeah, very
Mm,
Western centric,
yeah.
faces and stuff.
Oh no,
But
yeah. I've had my share of like really bad games, and I still had
but
to make a video of them.
uh, um, I was meaning, yeah, just where it's like, oh, this is not fun. This is I can't get enthusiastic about this, and I need to now tell people what I think.
Yeah. This is why also, but then that's why I don't like doing negative reviews. Like there are a lot of games, like I'm not a social deduction person, so I could brag about a game that is absolutely fine and wonderful, but it's just not my cup of tea. So I'm not the kind of person who like this sucks, like thumbs down, because like a lot of games are your preference. So I tend to not say this game sucks or not. I often say this is not my cup of tea.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And
Like like um like uh like a game. What's that big game?
the
Blood on
thing
the
with
Clock
board games
Tower.
is that they want to try reversing this and spotlight more games and publishers outside of Europe and North America.
Yeah.
Um, I only really became properly aware of Orléans. I mean, I was aware of it, but it was after I read
Which
the
one?
book by Jeff Engelstein and Isaac Shalev, I want to say. The
Oh,
one
okay.
about board game mechanisms. Do you know this one?
What's the title? I'm really bad with names.
Um, so they wrote.
I know they wrote a book. It was there. It was
Isaac.
about bag.
They wrote a
Yeah.
book, and in this book about all the board game mechanisms, that's actually influenced all the new board game mechanisms on BGG. And anyway, for the chapter about solo games, they talked about Orleans, which was
Solo games.
no,
Oh,
sorry, cooperative games.
cooperative games. Yeah. Well, it because of the expansion. Because
Yeah, yeah,
Orleans
yeah,
is not. Yeah, yeah. The team one. That was
yeah.
my
And
birthday. When I used to go to FLG, remember when we went outside?
I'm not sure what your husband got you for your birthday. A trip to the shop.
Yeah, yeah. He got me. I think he got me Mansions of Madness
Oh,
that
okay.
year.
That was not clear at all from the picture. Oh, so was it
Yeah,
Mansions of Madness and Venus Next?
yeah. That's it.
Okay, well, it's
That's
just
it.
because this picture, it's like, wait, what?
I got
So
all of
the
that.
present was all these things.
But yeah.
And got someone saying that deductions games are their jam, as in they put them on toast.
Oh, very nice. Part of your macro diet, is it the protein or the carbs?
Oh yes, and New Calca. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this. Oh, is that's Nuria? But yeah, it says Building Blocks of Game Design by Jeff Engelstein and
Oh,
Isaac
okay.
Shalev.
Okay, cool.
That's the book that I'm talking about.
That
Um,
said, I do like social deduction games. I just like social deduction games that have more deduction than the social side. So I do like time bomb, evolution. I like Cthulhu. What's that? Don't mess with Cthulhu.
I mean,
I
I saw
love.
pictures of One Night's Ultimate Werewolf earlier, so that, but
Yeah,
you're saying
my
that's not
kids,
your
because
jam.
no, but my kids love that. Like, because I taught high school kids, and every time we had maths, and they would ask for a break, they'd be like, "Can we play One Night Ultimate Werewolf?" Okay, so I had fun watching them though, because it was really funny. So I just have I think I have performance anxiety when I can only I can only do so much. Like if it stretches out, like it exhausts me. So yeah, so
Hmm.
I don't enjoy it as much. So that's why Blood on the Clock Tower, because people were raving about it. You will love it, Ella. It's different. And then they're like, no, I know I won't, because it's just a longer version of what I don't like.
Wait, so have you tried it? And
Yeah, Blood on the Clock Tower. It's like a heavy social deduction game.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I
it's not,
played
yeah,
it
it's not
once. When was it? It.
SN a few years ago when we
I
right?
mean, I played it quite recently. I played it
Hmm.
just in the last few months.
Yeah,
Um, like maybe in January, December, sometime around then.
yeah, yeah. I did
I
not
say
enjoy
last few
that.
months, and it's like, okay, I'm
No.
going to go.
Yeah, that's Food Chain Magnet.
Oh, I've still yet to play it, but I so want to give it a proper go.
If you want to
I
learn it, there's an online platform that's really good. So that's how I learned it, because it's very tedious to count all the squares when you were doing it. So when
oh,
we were learning it online, it would have like an outline of the path. So it was really good. I used
is
to
it
do a lot of
Yucata?
unboxings like that. Like, hmm?
Which online platform is it? Yucata or
No. It's a board game. I can send it to you. I think board game. I forgot. But yeah, it was mainly just splatter games. So splatter games. So Antiquity was there. Fuji Magnet was there. I think I forgot what the other games were there, but yeah, but it was just for splatter games.
I mean, it's amazing how this one has really, yeah, gotten it's not turned them into a big publisher by any means.
Yeah,
They're still
but they have a.
incredibly niche, but this is the one that's basically made them okay. They're not worried so much about money right now. It's his like
Oh, really?
great hit.
Yeah, it's a cult hit because it's I don't know, I like it. Oh, El Grande.
Mm.
Oh, that
Oh,
was like yeah, El Grande. That was one of the best. I still have that. And I got an expansion for that. One of the best area control games. I found out that I like area control games. I didn't even think about it because I was just like, I have a lot of area control games. I must like it. So there.
I
I
mean,
like to see more games where the social deduction is just one of the mechanisms in the game. You're right. That makes sense. Yeah. It's one aspect of it. Was there a social deduction one? That's the only aspect. I'm thinking.
and
Yeah,
3 Minute Board Games says they just picked up Food Chain Magnet and it's crazy expensive, as
it
much as
is.
Gloomhaven. I
Yeah,
mean,
very.
it's pretty crazy expensive over here as well.
Yeah, it's expensive and everywhere because yeah, they only print a few. So those are like that's like a protospiel in a way. That's a so in Melbourne, that's all the designers here. So that's Carl over here. I'm gonna point with it. So Carl on the left hand side, yeah, and Alex. So those are local designers. So
Do you
I'm that's a
know?
prototype.
I was going to say, oh, Eris.
Yes, he's in my game group. He's moving. Yeah, so he's not gonna be
Oh,
in
moving
Melbourne.
away.
No, no, no. Yeah, to another. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know if I should. I can say. So anyway, so I'll shut up.
but no, I had Eris on, and I was doing a wee bit of help with the arts and graphic design thing until it got a bit too much for me, the moderation.
Yeah. Oh,
But
they had because they have a Facebook page that is on graphic design and art, which is pretty big.
group,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So
crazy.
that's Martin. So that was when I think that's a local con. So he was presenting. He was demoing Australia when it was new. I
And Martin
fangirled.
Wallace is just
Yeah.
staying there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that was but he stays in a different place, so Brizzy. So I'm in Melbourne, they stay in Brizzy. I fangirled. He was like eating a chicken, and I was like, Martin. So I'm like, and then I started asking him questions. He was eating chicken. I'm like, what is this crazy woman doing? So,
I
oh
mean,
goodness, yeah.
at this point, do you kind of just still fangirl out whenever you
Oh
meet?
yeah, I'm a fangirl at heart, so it will never be old to me that I'm like talking like Isaac Childress is I can say is a sort of a friend of mine. I can say he's my friend. Okay, I'm still blown away by the idea that I'm talking to like the designer of Gloomhaven. It will never be out of my mind. It will never be old. So yeah, like I or like I'm talking to because the other day, like because I'm part of the Dice Tower now, and I had like a Zoom chat with Tom Vassell. And when he was in the studio, I'm like, "Oh my god, Tom, I'm talking to you, and you're in the Dice Tower studio." It was like major, and he laughed a little bit. But it will never grow old. It will never grow old. It will never grow
And
old to me.
Three
Yeah,
Minute
yeah.
Board Games, a big fan of Raiders or
Yes.
into it.
Yeah, it just never grows old. I guess because I look up to people who make board games, so that's why it will never grow old to me that I get to talk to them and ask about how they make things and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I mean, have you ever considered
No.
making something yourself?
No, no, no. It's very hard. Like I'm making this scenario for Frosthaven, and it's giving me anxiety because I just want it to be really good, and then just the process is very hard. Like there are a lot of things to consider. So I don't think, and I'm only making a scenario, so I can imagine like being Isaac and doing all the scenarios, and then having this like bigger project in mind, how everything fits together, and then he's writing all the puzzles in it. So I cannot imagine like even you like making a card game. I cannot like play testing it. It's just not me.
No.
Oh, for you. Well, for you, Bez.
No, I think this is for you, Ella.
For me.
I think so.
For me. Why? See, that's strange. No, I think it's for you.
No, I
I
think
think
it's for you.
yeah, I think it's for
Wait,
you.
they say, oh, wait, it's for me. Oh, wow.
It's for you, Bez.
What?
Yes. Why would
What?
it be for me? See, it's strange for you.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's cute.
Oh, thank you. Oh wow. Well,
You're flat. You don't have words.
oh,
Oh, it's cute.
oh, thank you very much.
Oh, that's so nice. Who is this? I win. I win.
We all
Send him a
win.
yeah. Send
That's
him a
a
gift.
very nice game. So this is Sate, who's based in Leipzig, and they say that their favorite game to play is Candy Make Me Laugh and Break Character.
Cool.
And so it's a very, I mean, I don't want to keep rehashing this, but we had
Yes.
discussion points yesterday after the No Evil game that we played about being blindfolded and all these things,
Hmm.
and how right now, when we are, so far away, we're not really feeling that social connection anyway.
Yes.
Having that sort of estrangement from other people, feeling
Yes.
like, okay, we can't see other people, that can be quite isolating, even more so. Whereas
Yeah.
if we are maybe in a room with other people, it can be, okay, this is a sense of trust. We've got the
Yeah.
sense of touch, someone's guiding us. It can
Hmm.
be,
Exciting and yeah.
but right now, there's a different sense to everything, isn't there?
Hmm. Yeah. True. True. Even the idea of selling a party game, because I know that some people like pushed it back because it's really not. How will you be playing a party game when people can't play together? So there's
I
also
don't
that.
know.
So
You can play party games for sure. I mean, just one.
I
People
guess it
have
depends
had.
on the kind of party game that you're gonna play. So like yeah, depends. I can't talk about the project, but I think that kind of game won't work unless like in person. So I don't know. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
there's
hard.
so many games that I would love to make and show off and properly test that involve, slapping things, you know,
Yes.
or speed, which, yeah, you can kind of do speed on a digital platform, but it
Yeah.
loses a lot, especially
Hmm.
when it's kind of being a split second faster. You
Yeah.
definitely can't do dexterity, and
Hmm.
well, I guess
Yeah.
can we've played in a bond, which actually worked, which was surprisingly well. But yeah, there is so much that we can't play, but there's definitely a lot that we can.
Yeah. 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 There's too many. There's so many games. Bound to have one.
I mean,
Mhm.
and how, yeah, I feel like it's time for us to start wrapping up. It
Sure.
has been lovely having you on. I mean, if
Thank you.
we,
You
what,
being distracted by the photos. That is my auntie who's like turning almost 60. So
what's the parts of your kind of day that you enjoy the most? I mean, you're working for, yeah, selling board games to shops, you're working on telling people about board games that you've gotten from publishers. I
yeah.
mean, is there, presumably there's parts of it, like a sort of admin style bit similar to what you didn't like about teaching that will just come into
Yeah.
any job?
I guess what do I enjoy about it? It's still I enjoy a lot of things about it. There is admin job. But I guess because it's a smaller company, so it's not a lot of people. I guess it's more like personal. So my interaction. So I have a coworker. We talk a lot. We chat a lot. We get excited about games a lot because both of us are so in our company. There are only few of us who are actually gamers. So we have a lot of salespeople. They're not really gamers, and there's me and him. So we bond a lot. So I guess that's the highlight of my day when we're just chatting and getting
Oh,
excited about games. So in the end, yeah, and also because I in the industry, so I have this chat like with friends, like Danny's in there, like Danny, Theo. and Danilo. So I have a lot of friends in the industry, and we just chat and then gossip and then talk about games, Animal Crossing. So that's a highlight of my day also. Yeah. And playing games is a highlight of my day. Like the amount of games that am that I get sent and play is, yeah. And it just blows my mind also how many good games are there, despite the fact that we premiere like 3,000 games a year. So, yeah.
I mean, there's a ridiculous number of games.
Oh, ridiculous. Like I know that was my first. That's me fangirling, taking
Then
photos
we've got
photos
Paul
of
Logan,
everybody.
Rodney
Yeah.
Smith. Who's the person in the green shirt?
In the green shirt. On the lower hand. Oh, I'll remember his name. He's part of the Dice Tower, but now he's part of BGG now. I'll remember his name. I'm really bad with names. I will. I'm sorry. I'll remember. But
Kenny
yeah,
O'Mahony.
he does editing. I'll remember. I'll remember. Kenny. Yes, that's it. You're right. Kenny. Kenny. Kenny.
Then
So he
we've
used to be
got
part of the Dice Tower. So he used to edit for Dice Tower. Now he edits, like, he does the editing for BGG. Yeah.
there's your Danny.
Yeah. I think that's the first time we met. Yeah. Yeah. That was it.
Aldi.
Yeah. 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 No, Danny's one of my besties. Yeah. I have a great story. So I have a friend, Ashley, who's also in I don't think I can tell the story. I'll just tell it. So that was just her first time meeting Z Garcia was at Essen, and she cried.
Oh,
And I was taking like a video of her. You're crying. See, so the bigger fangirl than me. Big fan of the Dice Tower. So she was very excited that I'm on the Dice Tower. It's surreal that I'm on the Dice Tower. It's very strange.
I mean, how does that work? Did you approach them?
So at Gamma, Mark Street was there, and he was like, we got to talking that yeah, that I was no longer with MVM, and if I was interested in making
Sorry,
previews, and I
you're no longer
was.
MDM.
I was with Man versus Meeple before, so I
Oh,
did previews for them, but
sorry, I know them. I've just never. It's one of
yeah,
I've
you're from the
not heard
UK,
the
so like,
acronym
yeah,
before.
you only know shut up and sit down.
No, I know Man versus Maple. I just
No, I'm
didn't.
just joking. But yeah, yeah. So we got to talking at Gamma, and then I started. Yeah, Tom said I was flattered because Tom said like, "Oh, I always wanted you on my channel. I just want to poach people." So I'm like, "Oh, he knows my name." Z is awesome. He chased me down to. Oh, wow, that's nice. Who was rude to you? Let's blast him on, on Twitch. Ella, just email me, or even on Twitter if you message me at me.
I mean, presumably there's some sorts of guidelines of what would be a good fit and what is not? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Well,
the
I
typical
can't.
thing is kind of like, okay, you don't give heavy cardboard,
Party
a
game.
party game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I appreciate when people like look through the letters that I get are that I enjoy are the ones that are personal. Oh, I really like your coverage of this or that, and then I think this is a great fit. So I like those kinds of. So it makes sense that they think about if their game is a good fit for me also. So that's cool. But yeah, my email is Ella at ellalovesbg.com. But also you can just message me on Twitter, and I'm always on. I'm always awake, never asleep. On Instagram too. But yeah, that's my email.
I mean, you
If
don't
you
want to
click,
say that. I mean, there is this kind of fetishization sometimes of working really hard all the time, if you know what I mean. And I
yeah,
know
yeah,
Paul Grogan's talked a lot about this and how it can be incredibly damaging.
yeah, it is.
Pax,
Yeah.
is this in Australia?
No, PAX U is in Philadelphia, which is like the best place to go because it has great food, like the best food of. Because I'm a snob because I come from Melbourne and I think we have the best food. Then I went to Philadelphia, and oh my god, the food there is amazing. And PAX is one of my favorite playing cons because it's just very diverse. Like if you look into the sea of people, it's a mix of people. That's why I like Essen also because it's like families coming over, and it's a good mix of like families, and there's a lot of women there, so Yeah.
Need to
Hmm.
encourage you to come to Cannes at some point.
Oh, I want to. Is it great?
Oh, it's so good, and the nice thing about it, like, if
The food?
obviously if you're flying from overseas, you might as well pay for one of the tickets to get in earlier. But
Hmm.
people can go in for free if they just wait a wee bit or come later on in the day. And so I
Yeah.
had people who'd basically never played a board game before playing Dragonimo and
Hmm.
with me, and they were like, "Oh, this never knew that games like this existed," and it's really showing board games to more people, kind of
Yeah.
funding it largely based on the publishers, and it does mean that the indie people are very ghettoized. There's literally like
Right.
one corridor for all the cheap stalls, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, kind but it's just a really nice place. It's open building. Of course, you go straight outside and there's the sea and everything. But the lovely thing is that it's so diverse. I think basically because of being free entry, that
Right.
if
Not anybody can
anyone
go
lives
in.
there, they might as well pop their head in.
Yeah. Yeah. I should when we get to travel again in the future, 3 years from now, 2020. I'm thinking 2021, maybe. No, 2022, most probably.
And say it says they're not
No,
blasting
I
the
was just
person.
joking. Of course, I
But
won't say it. I'm joking. I'm joking.
was that Endeavour? Yeah, Endeavour Age of Sail. Oh no,
No,
Condottiere.
condottiere. Oh, how do you say it? I thought it was condottiere.
I don't
Condottiere.
know.
Hmm.
I guess I would assume that, to be fair, it is El Grande, so
And
presumably it's
no,
Condottiere.
no. Always wanted to try condottiere because I'm a big fan of El Grande, which is an area control game. Condottiere is great. It's great.
I noticed the Spanish rolling your R's is really coming out there. I mean, you must have done a fair bit of traveling in your time, I guess.
Actually, no. Because the first time that I ever traveled to Europe was when we went. I think a few before. I think 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, I didn't travel a lot. I was very poor in the Philippines, and traveling was like only rich people did it. So when I did migrate to Australia, that's the only time that I got to travel to different places. Yeah.
I mean, it's a
So
weird thing because I realized that I could go to Nigeria and basically not worry about money, if you know what I mean,
yes.
ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of weird to realize that I have that privilege where the only reason I need money is to kind of continue living in the country where I choose to live.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I mean, especially in this sorts of global economy,
Mm.
um, it is as you start doing more and more things globally. Oh, go Hova.
Yeah.
Um, just big fan of Gil's work, and of
He's
course,
such a nice person also.
the L deck would not exist if it weren't for Prolix, the precursor to Wordsy. Don't know if you know that story.
No, no, I don't. Tell the story, please.
So, do you know Wordsy, previously known
Mm.
as Prolix?
I know Wordsy. I didn't know it was Prolix.
So basically, there's this one great thing in that game. I really enjoyed that, where there's two reasons why I enjoyed Prolix, which is a precursor to Wordsy. I'm just saying that so that people, in the same way that I would like people to say they enjoyed In a Bind, but it's now known as Yogi, just so people, if people want to buy it, you can go and buy Wordsy.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
either of them both have two interesting things that I like, that I meant that I enjoyed it, whereas I don't particularly enjoy Scrabble. Firstly, it's a speed
Right.
game. I like speed games. You don't get into this terrible analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Secondly, you are allowed to use any additional letters you want, which is a crazy thing. And so in 2015, inspired by Matthew Dunstan, who'd been writing blog posts, basically daily design things, and I was like, okay, let me try to think of daily designs, and A, B, C, D, E. The fifth one I came up with while I was cycling along was actually, hey, I really like that game, Prolix, now known as Wordsy.
Wordsy, yes.
But could I make it even simpler? Could I make it something that I could share with just everyone and, you know, get people playing literally within 10 seconds? What would be the simplest form of the game? And that's when I came up with Wibble. And now Wibble is a game that I'm very proud of. But what I'm even prouder of is the fact that as I went to start making more and more games for the deck, and now Andrew Dennison made Alphabetical, now other people like Xate and Alex and Andrew January and all sorts of people are designing games for the deck because it is a multi-game game system, and I'm immensely proud of it and happy that,
That's nice.
Gil Hova managed to, so I definitely have Gil Hova to thank for it. So yeah, if you read it, there's a little story about.
Now I know Prolix, Wordsy, known as Prolix. Yes, now I know. Yeah.
Formerly known as Prolix.
I can't talk anymore. Wordsy, formerly known as Prolix,
has. Yeah, so it has been super lovely.
Thank you. It is lovely. I was looking forward to it.
And I would love to have you on if you would be happy to, at some points in the future, maybe like a month down the line,
absolutely,
going a little bit more in depth into a topic, a mutually agreeable topic, such as, I don't know, Australian distribution or...
Sure, oh no.
Why do all the Dice Tower people have brick walls? Are you kind of just fetishizing your bricks?
Yeah, good topic. I'll think about it. I'll write the dissertation.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, give me time. A month will be good. Okay.
Yeah, give you time to prepare.
Yes.
So, I want to recap. It's been a lovely morning / bedtime, I guess.
Yes.
It's been nice to kind of hear a bit more about you, and I'm sure that there's, you know, one person. It's not like, okay, now we know all about Ella, but it feels like now us to have properly met in some way. Do you know what I mean?
Because we might go into a next level of friendship. I have to visit your house first.
Yeah, and then we can be acquaintance plus.
Yes.
I mean, you could. I was going to be careful with my words.
Why?
No, I was going to say you could sleep in the bed with me.
Oh.
And then, I mean, totally, but then I'd have to, make sure that my room is presentable. Yes. And
well, that's fine.
You know, everything. But
I know you're ready. That's fine.
Honestly, like, it's not like you're in Germany. So if you were coming to London one time, I'm sure that you would have like
I'll visit
a place
you, definitely.
sorted out. But if you did need to have a place for like one night, I'm sure we could make it work.
Yes.
If it were like, oh my God, a person's cancelled on me. Oh my God, it's like emergency. So like if you need that.
Sure, absolutely.
And Alan Alton says that if you do need someone to change the ways of the Dice Tower network.
This is not even real brick. I'll show you. It's just a piece of fabric. Oh, it's too far. I didn't even realize. Like if I scroll down, but I'm not
So
wearing pants, so I
basically, what
shouldn't
you're
do it.
telling me is that
It's
there's
not a
like
brick
an
wall.
application process, and they're asking, "Hey, do you have a visual brick? Do you have the visual of a brick wall?" And
Number one, they have a yeah. Number one requirement. They have a brick wall. What
what's the
color is
number
it?
two then? Is it to like either you need to have hats or glasses or
Yeah.
long hair or beards? You've got to have one
Hmm.
of those.
Thank God it's a hat. It's a hat. It's glasses. It might be hard for me to have a beard. Hmm.
Yeah.
Or as you remember, Izibasa would say like a wall of games. The the design of our people, a wall of games.
I mean, I like what Paul Grogan does with the kind of, okay, here's just a picture. And yeah,
Uh,
so Xate needs to buy their own fabric, to have
mm.
the brick wall before they can join the Dice Tower network. But they do have the sexy glasses.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, it has to be bigger than so it has to be like 1/4 your face.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, it has been really enjoyable.
Thank
So to
you.
recap, aeroplanes are brilliant. Go and watch the Truman Show, and apparently yesterday is also brilliant. And Tony Boydell eats tripe whilst playing board games, which is still boggles my mind.
Yes.
Got lots of love for lots of games that can be played these days. We're still having good times, even though it is still a terrible situation. And yeah, this conversation is just going to carry on for another half hour, I feel.
This is like a Filipino goodbye. A Filipino goodbye is like an hour saying goodbye. You move to the
Thank you
door.
very much for everyone who's been watching. Thank you, Alan Outson. Thank you, Xate, Alex, 3 Minute Board Games, Andrew January, Odin, and Rose, and Javier, and yeah, of course, Tony Boydell and Peasant for popping in. And
Yes.
most importantly, thank you
Ah, thank
over
you.
here, Ella.
Thank you. You made you up the other side. You made me laugh and be happy. So thank you. I could say this is a highlight of my day.
And I forget their name. I'm sorry, 3 Minute Board Games. I forgot your actual name.
Jay.
Tawatoko Bez. Thanks for keeping me company while I write the script. Awesome. And to wrap up, yeah, they are very enigmatic. Jay.
Jay. He's great.
But yeah, do you have so if you wish to find me, stuffbabes.bigcartel, you can buy my stuff, twitter.com/stuffbabes. I tweet all the time. I try to share some positivity. Instagram.com/stuffbabes. I try to keep it vaguely board game related, also pretty things. Twitch.tv/stuffbabes is the best place for finding me. Facebook.com/thingsbybez and stuffbabes@gmail.com, where you can email me. And where can people find you, Ella?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram. Ella loves board games, and on Facebook, Ella loves board games. On YouTube, Ella loves board games. On Twitter, Ella loves BG, because Twitter, I don't know, they're rebels. You can't have a full name. And there, and on the Dice Tower.
And looking forward to hopes and ambitions, it's over to you for this final section. So everybody in the comments, not just Ella, I invite you to think of something you're looking forward to and hold it in your heart. Maybe it could be one thing, maybe it could be two things, maybe three things. What you're looking forward to today, maybe something you're doing after this show, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe in a year or two after we don't have to worry too much about Virai. I am looking forward to, okay, bear with me. So
Yes.
there's a lots of food coming up. So I am looking forward to finishing off some of the chicken and the peppers with a bit of cheese in it from my birthday meal from Sunday, and I need to have them before the peppers all start going bad. But I'm
Yes.
looking forward to having that because it is very tasty. But
Mm.
also, I am looking forward to a bit of a cycle. I do have to cycle, but I'm not.
Mm.
Bizarrely, I am going to be cycling about 13 miles, but I might not buy a bubble tea
How dare
because
you?
yeah, I'm considering buying a small bubble tea, but there's so much food in the house that I have to eat. So I feel like what I should do is just cycle, come back,
Cycle.
and then have the other
Mm.
things. But that is what I'm looking forward to. And I am hoping that my housemate gets better soon. So fingers
Yes.
crossed. Thank you
Knock
very
on
much.
wood.
And yes, what are you looking forward to?
Me, I'm gonna have dinner and I'm gonna have ice cream and might have a gin and tonic. That's what I'm looking forward to. Nice.
What's ice cream? What's ice cream?
I have a vanilla ice cream. I'm very vanilla.
Are we talking
Vanilla and
fancy vanilla?
honey.
Are we talking like maybe with
Oh,
like proper vanilla seeds in it?
oh yeah, proper vanilla. My favorite. I have a little bit of honeycomb in it
Oh, nice.
in the winter, so that's how hardcore I am.
We're
Ah,
having
nice.
people hoping for cooler
Cooler
weather.
weather. It's winter here. It's like grass is always greener. I want it to be summer. Ooh, cool.
And oh wow, Odin, hope that you
4
get
a.m.
to
Oh
soon
my goodness.
and are
Good
looking forward
night.
to getting the prototype copies of the next release.
Yes.
And
I will follow up on your games. I'll ask Etienne to send it to me.
yeah. Oh, and please, if you can ask, well, I forgot their name. It was a person. It
Etienne?
was, I don't remember. They were a white man. They
I don't.
were wearing clothes.
Yes. Did it
They
have a
were.
beard? Did it have a wall
I don't
behind them?
remember. They might have had a
Brick
beard.
wall?
They might. They definitely wore clothes. They definitely weren't
Yes.
naked,
Yes.
and they were
They
definitely
were.
male representing. Um, they were definitely at London Toy Fair.
Ah, Mark Rosser, most
Possibly,
probably.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, get my games off them if you can.
Okay, I'll tell them because they have so many games that might have been lost in the mix, but I'll follow up.
Yes, and just to let you know, the L deck, I kind of am selling it, but not really. I'm in a weird position with UK Games Expo because I don't particularly want to sell it because until I've reprinted it, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've got like about literally few enough copies that I wish that I had a new edition. I've got like 20 copies,
Right.
something like that. And
Then
honestly,
you
that's few enough that I would be happy to just keep a box for myself to
right.
keep, maybe when I'm 80, I'll want to give some to my friends, but
Yeah.
it's got some nice instructions for all the games and hopefully you will enjoy some of them.
Cool.
I'm going to hope that. Um
Good luck then. It's pretty
Go
close.
to Ben Odin. Go to
Go to
bed.
bed. Go to bed. It's 4 a.m.
Share, spread the word. I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tomorrow I'm chatting to Colvin Wong Loon about working with Fantasy Flight and writing
Oh.
their codex bit for Twilight Imperium, which now we can talk about because they were teasing it and I totally guessed it, but I
Cool. Very cool.
specifically didn't. And then that's the next streams, and then Thursday nights, we're going to, at 8 p.m. UK time, we'll be playing a game. Friday, I'm having Mark on from Tabletopia. And so I'm going to be learning about Tabletopia along with all of you. And do
Cool.
you have anything left to say before we do our final bits, Ella?
No, that's it. Thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to coming back.
I look forward to it as well.
Ancient Heart.
Bye, bye,
Bye.
bye, bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Do 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 do. Bye 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye.
Bye.